What's up, guys? This is Ali Gatie. I'm a singer-songwriter from Toronto, Canada, and I just love writing songs about love. What first got me into music was I always loved music as a child, but I didn't really grow up in like a musical family. Then when my parents moved to Canada, we were like immigrants, so it was all about like go to university, get like a become a doctor. You know, that was like the dream of every like family, it seemed like, and so that was kind of the route I was going. But as I went through school and like navigated my kind of teenage life and like young adult life, I realized like I was really unhappy going down that route. And one of my best friends he's a rapper, and so he like took me to a studio, and I just like had so much fun that I just kept going for fun. And then like the fun turned into like a hobby, and the hobby turned into like, wait, could I actually do this? And then that turned into like drop out of school and really try. And so it was always in me, but it took like a little bit of courage from seeing what I hated about like other stuff to be like, this is the thing I love and I should try to do it. A word I've been using recently, like to describe my music, is like it's very conversational, you know. And so it's obviously very emotional, and like I write mostly love stories, and so that's like the obvious way to describe it. But I think conversational is a cool way to think about it, because every song is like a story, and I usually try to make it like personal enough to me that like I would like have the experience to write the record, but also like ambiguous and like general enough that I hope like a large group of people can relate. And so a lot of people will like meet me at my shows and be like, I feel like you wrote the song just for me. And even though I obviously know I don't know them, it was kind of my intention to make it feel like I want the one person to listen to it and be like, does he like know what I'm going through? And so conversational, I think, is the best kind of word to describe that. When I first started making music, like when I first fell in love with the idea of music, it was never to like, it was just because I loved it, right? It was that pure, like, you know, innocent kid who like loved making music. And I was like, if I make like $30,000 in a year, then I'll be like the happiest guy ever, you know? And like, and I'm still that kid, but like, as I got more successful, like there's a lot of outside pressure that started like kicking in, like, oh, like this artist does like high produced videos. And like, I can't like compete if I don't do that. And so I tried going kind of down that rabbit hole. And it's fun shooting like big budget videos, and like I'll still do them, of course. But this year, this upcoming year, I really wanted to focus on kind of taking it back to how I started, because that's just when I had the most fun. And it was also when I was the most successful, but that's not really what I'm chasing. I'm just chasing the fun again. And I was just like visiting my nephew. He like lived like really close to where we shot it. And I was just like, dude, I was with my best friend, and I was like, let's just try to shoot a video. And it was just one take, and I just put the lyrics there. And then recently when I went home to Toronto I did 2 shows in Toronto, I shot another one at like a place I used to like go and write songs at when I was like first making music. And so I might just start doing that, like just fly to like Paris and shoot a video just for no reason and like put it out for my fans, you know, not overthink it. Yeah, and when I first started making music, obviously I had like no fans, right? And so I was always like, why don't people listen to me? And I used to like message on Twitter or even on Instagram, like every single person I could find, like, hey, like I just dropped a new song, check it out. And like people would just ignore me, obviously. Or some people would literally be like, stop messaging me, man. Like I don't want to hear your song. And so once like things started to pick up and like people started to message me like, oh, can you release that song that you posted on like on Instagram or whatever? I kind of built this mentality of like, if I just build it like one fan at a time, but like I really win them over, they're not like just like a small fan, they're like a diehard fan, like they'll be able to go out and like get me new fans. Because that's how I discover music. Like if my best friend brings a song to me, I'm gonna listen to it. But like if like a random person on Twitter tweets like, this is the best song ever, I might not care to like value their opinion. And so I just had this mentality of like one fan at a time, build a community. And then I'm not gonna lie, as I got bigger, I kind of like lost sight of that a little. I still like really appreciated my fans, but I started to feel like the one fan at a time, of course, can't work when you're trying to get like a million fans. But then like you see artists like Taylor Swift who still have that. Like she still does like listening parties and like shows up to fans' houses or whatever, sends them like merch. Like so she does cool things like that. And like you just see she just put up a tour and it was like Ticketmaster doesn't work anymore. So clearly it works, and I'm trying to get back to that. And so I'm trying to make sure my fans always know how important they are to my story. We ended up pushing Europe till hopefully next year. So I started in November in San Francisco, and it's cool. I mean, it's really tiring. I'm still kind of trying to understand like the dynamics of like when to get rest, and like something so simple as like I should sleep right after the show, but then like you see your crew and you're so excited and you don't want to sleep, you just did a show, right? And so that part's been a little challenging. I got sick at one point too, which was kind of like not kind of, it was really upsetting, obviously, but learning things like that, like, okay, maybe I should wear a mask everywhere, even though it's not like required. But other than that, it's been amazing. It's been such a cool journey, and seeing people sing my songs and meeting the fans, and just like seeing my hard work kind of like in person is different than social media. Like when someone DMs you, oh, you changed my life, as opposed to like in person crying, telling you, it obviously like resonates a little different. And so I'm just thankful. I know a lot of artists like work years and years to get to the touring that I'm doing now, and this is my first run, and I'm not jaded anyway. I know how lucky I am, and so I'm trying to cherish every moment, Chicago fans, sadly, the show is sold out, I'm pretty sure. And it was actually one of the first shows sold out. So if you don't already have tickets, you're just gonna have to wait till the next time I come. But I do wanna say something. I have done one show in Chicago before. On my first little run, I did 6 shows, like when I first kind of blew up. And Chicago was like super, like really surprised us. The love was so crazy because I never knew I had a big fan base there until like I showed up. And so I'm super excited. Unfortunately, the show is sold out, but and it was actually one of the first shows to sell out from the whole tour. So shout out to Chicago. I have real love for this city. It's a beautiful city. I guess the only thing I want to say is my fans everywhere, I love you, but Chicago, I'm assuming most of my fans in Chicago are listening to this. Thank you guys for supporting me, whether you're coming to the show or not. I know it's like exam season. Some people are like skipping school and stuff, but regardless, I love you for even supporting me online, and I can't wait to come to Chicago the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 10th time, hopefully.